Hello and welcome to Modern Skills in English. Today we're talking about something many students are feeling anxious about, the first job. That traditional entry-level job that was supposed to be the first step in a long career.
It feels more like a missing step now. I'm doing everything my university tells me to do. I study hard, I focus on my grades, but then I read the news. I see articles about AI replacing exactly the kind of jobs I thought I was preparing for. It feels like the path has disappeared, like the ladder is gone, and I'm just standing at the bottom with my degree, not knowing where to go. So what is the plan when your first job disappears before you even get it?
That's a heavy question, and it's the right one to ask. But what if the problem isn't that the ladder is gone? What if the real problem is that we're all still looking for a ladder?
What do you mean? A career is a ladder. You start at the bottom and you climb up.
That used to be the model. Most students still believe that their education ends with a degree, and their real training begins with their first job. A company hires you, teaches you the basics, and you slowly learn how to be a professional.
Yes, exactly. That's what I expect. That's the deal, isn't it?
It was, but that deal is changing. The idea that a company will pay you to learn the absolute basics, that's the part that is breaking down. So the anxiety you feel isn't because you're doing something wrong, it's because you're following a map that leads to a place that might not exist anymore.
So the map is wrong. That's not a good feeling. Where do I get a new one?
We don't need a new map, we need a new way of traveling. Let's start with that first step on the ladder. Students see it as the place to learn how to work, how to manage tasks, communicate in a team, solve small problems.
Right. It's where you get your first experience.
And for decades, that was true. Companies needed people to do simple, repetitive tasks, organizing data, writing basic reports, scheduling meetings. And while the new employee did those simple tasks, they learned the company's culture. They learned how to be a professional. It was a good system.
It sounds perfect. Why is it disappearing?
Because technology, especially AI, is becoming very good at simple, repetitive tasks. A company that once needed to hire 5 people to organize spreadsheets can now use software. The training ground of simple tasks is shrinking, so they don't need to hire someone and spend 6 months teaching them professional basics anymore. They need people who can contribute something more from day one.
They want experience before you even have a job. It feels impossible.
It feels impossible if we use the old definition of experience. The belief that you need a job to learn professional skills is becoming, it's becoming obsolete.
Obsolete? So what's the new way? If I can't learn these things at a job, where do I learn them?
You shift your thinking. You don't need a job to learn professional skills. You need professional problems. The old system gave you simple tasks. The new world requires you to find simple problems and try to solve them.
Okay, that sounds very abstract. Find problems. What does that actually mean for a student like me?
It leads to the second big change. For years, the main job of a student was to get good grades.
It still is. That's all my professors talk about. My parents, too. Good grades prove I'm a good learner. It shows I'm smart and I work hard.
And that is absolutely true. Good grades are important. But what do they prove to a company? They prove that you are very good at being a student. They show you can listen to lectures, read books, memorize information, and pass exams.
And that's not enough anymore?
It's not a complete picture. Being a good student is a passive skill. You receive information and prove you understood it. But being a good professional is an active skill. You find information, you analyze it, and you use it to create a result. Companies need proof of the active skill, not just the passive one.
So my A in marketing theory isn't as valuable as I think it is.
It's valuable, but it's incomplete. You have to shift from being a reactive student to being a proactive professional in training. Your main job isn't just to consume information for your classes. It's to use your time at university to build evidence that you can do things.
Evidence? Like what?
Let's use your marketing class example. The reactive student gets an A on the final exam. That's their evidence. The proactive student does that, but they also spend a few hours a week helping a local coffee shop with their social media, or they start their own small blog reviewing movies. After 6 months, they have more than a grade. They have data. They can say, I increased their followers by 20%, or here are my 10 most popular articles. They have proof.
So they've built their own little training ground. They didn't wait for a company to give them one.
Exactly. They created a small professional problem for themselves and solved it. The coffee shop owner isn't their boss, they are their first client. This changes everything about how you look for a job.
How so? It feels like it just makes my CV look a little better.
It's much deeper than that. This connects to the third broken belief. Most students think their CV and their interview are where they promise they will be a good employee. You say things like, I am a fast learner, I am a hard worker, I am a creative problem solver.
I literally have those exact phrases in my notes for interview practice. Is that wrong now too?
It's not wrong, but it's weak. Think about the hiring manager. She has 100 applications on her desk. Every single one promises the same things. Promises are just words. They are low-value information. In a world with too many applications, companies don't look for potential anymore. They look for proof.
So my little marketing project for the coffee shop is my proof.
It's your proof. Instead of promising you can do something, you show that you have already done it, even on a small scale. You need to create situations that simulate real work long before you apply for it.
Simulate. So create a copy of a real job, but for myself.
A simple, small-scale copy. Join a student club and volunteer to be the treasurer. Now you're not just good with numbers, you've managed a real small budget. Or find 2 other students and create a small project together. Maybe you build a simple website for a local charity. Now you're not just a good team player, you can talk about how you handled a disagreement about the project deadline. You are building a portfolio of experiences, not just a list of classes you attended.
Okay, this is starting to make sense. But it also sounds like a lot of extra work. I'm already busy with my studies, exams, part-time work. And I have to be honest, if this is the new rule, why do I still see some students with perfect grades and nothing else get good internships? It feels like the old system still works for the top students.
That's a fair point. And for some very competitive people at top universities, exceptional grades can still open doors. But for most students, that path is getting narrower and more crowded. And relying only on grades is a high-risk strategy. It's like betting everything on one horse in a race. What if that horse has a bad day?
And what if someone else's horse is just faster?
Exactly. This new approach isn't about adding more work. It's about being more intelligent with the work you already do. It's about shifting some of your study time to project time. Maybe you spend a little less time memorizing for an exam and a little more time applying the core ideas to a personal project. The goal is to finish your degree not just with a certificate, but with a collection of tangible results.
Tangible. Things they can see. A website I can show them. A report I wrote. A social media page I managed.
Precisely. These things tell a story that your grades can't. They tell the story of your initiative, your ability to solve real-world problems, and your capacity to create value without being told exactly what to do. This is the skill that is most valuable now, the ability to function without a manager constantly giving you simple tasks, because the simple tasks are being automated.
So if I put all this together, my real first job isn't something I apply for after I graduate. It's something I build for myself, piece by piece, while I'm still a student.
That is the new mental model. You don't find your first year of experience anymore. You assemble it.
Assemble it. I like that word. It feels active. So I take a little bit of volunteer work, one personal project, maybe one interesting class assignment that I took further, and I assemble them into my year 1 experience.
Yes, you become the architect of your own training program. Think about it. You want to learn project management, so you find a low-risk environment like that charity website project. You do the work, you face some real problems, and you produce a tangible outcome, the finished website. You document what you did. Now, in an interview, when they ask, do you have any experience with project management? You don't say, no, but I'm a fast learner.
I say, yes. I recently led a 3-person team to develop a website for a local charity. We delivered it on time, and I was responsible for coordinating the tasks and communicating with the client. Wow, that's a completely different answer.
It's the difference between a promise and a fact. It changes your own confidence, too. You aren't hoping someone will give you a chance. You know what you're capable of because you've already done it. That old idea of passively waiting for a starter job is truly becoming obsolete.
So I need to be proactive, not just wait for my university to tell me what to do. I need to find ways to simulate a professional environment for myself, even if it's small.
And the goal of all this activity is to produce tangible proof of your skills, real things you can show people.
And then I assemble all these small projects into a powerful story that says, I'm ready to contribute now, not in 6 months, but now.
Exactly. You've just described the entire strategy. How does that feel compared to how you felt at the beginning?
It's strange. I started this conversation feeling like a huge door was closing, like my future was canceled. Now,
It feels like 1,000 small windows just opened. I don't need one big yes from one company to start my career. I can just begin.
And you already have. Hello to everyone listening. We hope this conversation was helpful.
If you have a challenge you're facing in your studies or career, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what topic you'd like us to explore next.